Listen up, because this is your wake-up call, delivered straight from the fire of a man who stared down the abyss and come out swinging. I'm Andrew Tate, and I'm here to tell you that pain isn't your enemy. It's your forge. Right now, in this moment, whatever hell you're crawling through, it's not breaking you, it's building you. Imagine a diamond. It doesn't sparkle without the crush of mountains bearing down. You've got pain? Good. That's the raw material for power. Stop whining. Stop scrolling through your pity party and start wielding it like a weapon. This isn't some fluffy TED talk. This is the truth that top G's live by. Turn that pain into power or stay mediocre forever. Think about it. Every champion, every legend, every unbreakable force you admire, they didn't sidestep the suffering, they devoured it. You wake up with that knot in your gut from a lost job, a betrayal, or a dream that slipped through your fingers. That's not a curse. That's your signal to rise. Pain is the great equalizer, the brutal teacher that separates the weak from the warriors. I've been there, cuffed, canceled, counted out, but I flipped the script. I trained harder, built empires from the dirt, and now I own the game. You're no different. That ache in your chest is fuel. Channel it. Hit the gym at dawn when your body screams no. Build that side hustle when the world says quit. Pain whispers doubts, power roars back with action. Hook yourself on discipline, not distractions. The Matrix wants you soft, scrolling, sedated, but you're built for more. Grab that pain by the throat and make it serve you. Now let's get real. Excuses are for losers. But Tate, my pain is different. It's deeper. It's unfair. Bullshit. Pain doesn't discriminate. It demands respect. Turn it into power by owning every scar as a badge of your evolution. Remember the story of the phoenix? It doesn't rise from comfort. It burns in agony first. You're that phoenix. That heartbreak from a failed relationship? It taught you boundaries, sharpened your edge. That financial hit, it forced you to hustle smarter, not harder. I've turned prison walls into motivation, critics into stepping stones. You can too. Start small. Today, face one fear head on. Feel the burn? That's power igniting. Surround yourself with winners, cut the dead weight, and watch how pain transmutes into unbreakable drive. This is your alchemy. Base metal to gold. Don't sleep on it. Seize it. Listen up. Because this is the hook that could shatter your chains right now. Pain isn't your enemy. It's the savage fuel igniting the beast within you. Imagine you're in the dead of night, sweat dripping, muscles screaming as you push through that final rep in the gym. The one that feels like it's ripping your soul apart. That's not defeat. That's the raw, unfiltered fire forging you into something unbreakable. I've lived it, staring down the barrel of betrayal, financial ruin, and a world that tried to bury me alive. But here's the truth bomb. Every top G, every empire builder, every legend who dominates the game didn't run from the burn. They embraced it like a lover, squeezed every drop of power from it, and rocketed past the doubters. You're no different. That heartbreak gnawing at your chest, that failure echoing in your mind, stop treating it like a curse. Grab it by the throat, own it completely, and watch how it propels you forward like a missile locked on victory. This isn't some feel-good fairy tale. This is the blueprint for warriors who refuse to stay grounded. Hook yourself on this reality check. Pain is the great accelerator, the hidden engine that turns ordinary men into gods among mortals. Think of the diamond formed, not in comfort, but under billions of tons of crushing pressure deep in the Earth's core. Your life is that pressure cooker right now. Lost your job? Feel the sting of rejection from that deal gone south. Good. Let it sear into your veins and demand more from you. I remember the days Hen the Matrix had me cornered, assets frozen, name dragged through the mud. Did I curl up and cry? Hell no. I embraced the agony, used it to fuel late-night strategy sessions, brutal training regimens that left me vomiting but stronger, and you can too. Start by acknowledging the pain head on. No more hiding behind distractions. No more numbing it with endless scrolls or cheap vices. Face it in the mirror each morning and say, you're mine now. Then channel that energy. Hit the pavement for a run when your legs beg to quit. Dive into that skill you've been avoiding when fear whispers lies. Every pulse of discomfort is a hook, pulling you closer to mastery. The professionals, the elite, they don't wait for blue skies. They thrive in the storm, extracting power from every lightning strike. Now, let's crank up the intensity with this unbreakable hook. Embracing pain isn't optional. It's the non-negotiable price of entry to the top 1%. Excuses are for the weak, the ones who stay stuck in the mud while winners blast off. Picture this. You're the pilot of your life, and pain is the thruster fuel. Ignore it, and you drift aimlessly. Harness it, and you soar through obstacles that would ground lesser men. I've turned personal hells into high rises, criticism into cash flow, because I stopped seeing suffering as a stop sign and started viewing it as a supercharger. You wake up tomorrow with that familiar ache, maybe from a loved one who walked away or a goal that slipped like sand through your fingers. Don't mourn it, weaponize it, build a routine around it, journal the lessons it teaches, visualize the power it unlocks, and act with the ferocity of a man possessed. Surround your mind with stories of those who've done it. Athletes who rose from injuries, entrepreneurs who pivoted from bankruptcy. That's your tribe, your fuel source. Feel the hook sinking in deeper. This embrace isn't passive, it's aggressive, demanding you evolve or evaporate. Pain whispers that you're broken. You roar back that you're being rebuilt layer by layer into an unstoppable force. Dive even deeper with this gut punch hook. The moment you stop fearing pain and start fueling with it, your trajectory changes forever. No more half measures, no more settling for mediocrity's warm blanket. I've coached kings who were on their knees, watched them rise by simply flipping the script, pain from poison to propellant. Your turn. Identify that one thorn in your side today, the one that's kept you small. Embrace it fully. Dissect it, learn from it, then launch yourself forward. Train your body to crave the burn, your mind to seek the challenge. This is professional level mindset, raw, relentless, rewarding. The fuel is there, burning hot. Grab it, ignite it, and blast through every doubt holding you back. Wake up to this brutal hook that's going to redefine your entire existence. Suffering isn't something to dodge. It's the feast that champions devour to fuel their dominance. Picture the greatest gladiators of history, the ones who stepped into the arena bloodied but unbowed, not because they avoided the blade, but because they swallowed the pain and spat out victory. I'm Andrew Tate, and I've danced with demons that would break lesser men. Imprisonment, public execution by the media, fortunes stripped away in a blink. Did I flinch? No. I consumed that suffering like a starving lion, tearing into prey, extracting every ounce of strength, every lesson in resilience. You think your struggles are unique? That boss who crushed your spirit, that injury sidelining your dreams, that loneliness echoing in the quiet hours? They're not barriers. They're the banquet laid out for you to gorge on and grow. Legends don't sidestep the hurt. They charge straight into it. Jaws wide, turning agony into the very essence of their power. Hook this truth deep. If you're not devouring your suffering today, you're starving yourself of the crown that's rightfully yours. Now, let's sink our teeth into the meat of it with this razor-sharp hook. Champions treat suffering as their ultimate training ground, the forge where weakness melts away and warriors emerge forged in fire. I've seen it time and again in the ring, on the mats in boardrooms stacked against me. The top performers, the elite who own the world, they don't whine about the weight. They lift it higher, consume it fully, and build muscle from the madness. That dawn run, when exhaustion screams stop, or hammer out that business plan when doubt clouds your vision. I've done it. Faced with chains that could crush a lesser soul, I channeled the rage into real estate flips, fight training that bordered on obsession, building a legacy that echoes worldwide. You possess the same fire. Hook deep, ignore the ache at your peril, but wield it wisely and watch how it turns screams of suffering into the roar of a life redefined. Now, let's amp up the voltage with this no-holds-barred hook. Channeling ache into action isn't a suggestion. It's the elite protocol that separates the doers from the dreamers forever trapped in what if. Your pain is a high-octane engine, revving under the hood, begging for you to hit the accelerator. That financial pinch squeezing your chest, don't numb it, direct it straight to your hustle. Cold call prospects when rejection stings, invest sweat, equity, and skills that pay dividends. I remember the nights after the world tried to erase me. Ache fueling all-nighters, crafting content that reached millions, turning vulnerability into velocity. Professionals know this alchemy. Ache as the catalyst for relentless pursuit. Start mapping it out, journal the specific burn, then assign actions that counter it head on. Feel the gut twist from a missed opportunity? Channel it into networking events where you pitch fearlessly. The body rebels during workouts? Push one more set, building not just muscle but mental armor. This isn't random rage, it's strategic redirection, a Tate-level tactic for momentum that snowballs. The matrix thrives on your stagnation, feeding you distractions to diffuse the drive, but you're wired for the win. Hook this commitment. Every pulse of pain is a prompt to act bigger, bolder, unbreakable. Ignite your core with this thunderous hook. Relentless action born from channeled ache is the force multiplier that elevates you from survivor to sovereign. Excuses dilute the fuel. Pure channeling purifies it into power. Envision the athlete sidelined by injury, not wallowing, but rehabbing with a vengeance. Every twinge a trigger for targeted training that leads to comebacks that stun the world. That's you in this narrative. That emotional scar from loss or betrayal gnawing away, redirect it, build boundaries and relationships that fortify your foundation, or scale your side project with the intensity of a man possessed. I've channeled global backlash into global influence, turning every critic's arrow into ammunition for my arsenal. Make it practical. Tomorrow, when the ache surfaces, be it physical fatigue or mental fog, pause, breathe, then pivot to motion. Lift weights heavier than last time. Study markets longer than comfortable. Connect deeper than surface level. Surround your efforts with accountability. Partners who push, not pull. Feel the hook embedding? This channeling creates compounding momentum. One action sparks the next. Ache evolving from anchor to afterburner. No half throttle, go full send. Because partial channeling yields partial empires. Strike this final fiery hook right in the soul the second you master channeling ache into relentless action. Your path clears like a highway at dawn, obstacles crumbling under your accelerated advance. I've guided warriors through their darkest hours, watching them transform twinges into triumphs by simply deciding to direct the energy. Your empire awaits. That not today? It's the key. Identify it, ignite it, and act without apology. Train the habit. Daily rituals where pain meets purpose. Grinding harder, building taller, roaring louder. This is professional propulsion. Raw, rhythmic, revolutionary. Fuel up, launch out, and own the momentum that's yours by right. Slam this truth hook like a hammer on anvil. Excuses are the chains that keep kings in the dirt, but crushing them unleashes the beast ready to rule. Start owning your scars today, or stay chained to victimhood forever. I'm Andrew Tate for GED'd in the fires of relentless scrutiny and setbacks that could shatter steel. And I've learned the hard way, no room for buts in the empire building game. That scar from a brutal breakup, the one from a career collapse, or the invisible wounds of doubt, they were not stains to hide. They're war medals etched in your flesh, proof you've survived the battlefield. Victims whine about the cuts. Victors wear them like crowns, evolving with every twist of the knife. Picture the Spartan warrior, body marked by 1,000 battles, not cowering but charging ahead, scars fueling his legend. That's you if you choose it. Hook this deep the second you crush those lame excuses. I can't because, and claim your wounds as wisdom. Your trajectory skyrockets from survivor to sovereign. I've crushed my own narratives of limitation, turning legal battles into lessons that built unbreakable protocols for success. You stop the self-pity parade. Own it all, the pain, the loss, the grind, and watch how it propels you to dominate. Now, drive this hook straight into your core. Crushing excuses isn't a one-time stunt. It's the daily discipline of kings who refuse to let scars define defeat. Instead, they redefine destiny. Every but you utter is a brick in your prison wall. Demolish it by dissecting your scars with surgical precision. That financial scar from a bad investment, don't blame the market. Own the misstep, extract the strategy, and invest smarter next time. I faced the world's butts head on, canceled, criticized, confined, yet I owned every scar as a strategic asset, evolving my mindset into a fortress that no storm can breach. Professionals in the arena know evolution demands accountability. Rise each morning, stare at those marks, physical or emotional, and declare, these are my medals, they make me mightier. Channel the energy, journal the excuses bubbling up, then crush them underfoot with action plans that honor your history. The body bears a tattoo from a fight gone wrong. Let it remind you to train fiercer, not fear the ring. This ownership isn't fluffy forgiveness, it's fierce reclamation, a Tate tactic for turning trauma into triumph. The Matrix loves your excuses, feeding them to keep you small, but you evolve or evaporate. Hook the habit, own one scar today, crush one butt, and feel the power surge. Amp it up with this unyielding hook. Owning your scars while crushing excuses is the alchemy that turns base metal into gold standard greatness, leaving whiners in the dust. No kings kneel to circumstances. They rise above, scars gleaming as guides to glory. Envision the entrepreneur who tanked his first venture. Excuses could bury him, but owning the scars, bad hires, market misreads, evolves him into a mogul who spots pitfalls from miles away. That's the path I've walked. Owning every public flogging is fuel for finer focus. building audiences that adore the authenticity. Make it yours, audit your life for those hidden buts, the ones masquerading as reasons, time, talent, luck, and crush them with cold, hard ownership. That relational scar from trust betrayed, wear it as a badge of better boundaries, evolving connections that serve your ascent. Surround your reflection with mirrors of truth, not illusions of innocence. Feel the hook tightening? This process builds resilience like compound interest. Each crushed excuse, each owned wound compounds into confidence that commands respect. Victims collect scars as complaints. Victors catalog them as conquests. Step into that elite evolution, deliberate, defiant, dazzling. Land this final fortress-like. Hook in your spirit. The moment you master crushing excuses and owning scars, you don't just rise, you reign. Scars transformed from shadows to spotlights on your supremacy. I've coached countless souls from the brink, watching them shatter self-sabotage and embrace their etchings as emblems of endurance. Your revolution starts now. That nagging butt about your past, crush it. That scar S. Tearing back, own it fully. Evolve through it relentlessly. Train the mindset. Daily affirmations that affirm your scar's strength. Actions that advance beyond apologies. This is professional prowess, raw ownership, ruthless evolution, regal results. Crush, own, ascend. The throne is vacant for those bold enough to claim it. Ignite this scorching hook that's about to set your world ablaze. Pain doesn't transform in isolation. Surround yourself with fire, a circle of unrelenting winners, and watch that raw ache alchemize into the gold of savage, unstoppable power. I'm Andrew Tate, the architect of empires built from the ashes of adversity, and I've learned through blood, sweat, and betrayal that your environment is the crucible. That suffering clawing at you, be it a crumbling career, fractured relationships, or inner demons howling, stays base metal unless you curate a crew of firebrands who fan the flames. No more tolerating lukewarm links. Cut the weak ones dragging you into the mud, the complainers, the excuse makers who dilute your drive. I've assembled teams of top Gs, fighters, financiers, visionaries who don't just endure pain, they amplify it into action, turning my own trials into triumphs that reshaped industries. You build that inferno around you. Seek mentors who've scorched through similar hells. Join masterminds where vulnerability meets velocity. Hook this truth. A weak circle keeps pain poisonous. A fiery one forges it into fortune. Start auditing your orbit today. Who ignites you? Who extinguishes? Surround strategically, and your suffering shifts from shackle to superpower. Now, fan the flames with this blazing hook. The alchemy of pain into gold demands a circle that doesn't coddle but challenges, fueling your evolution with the heat of shared ambition. Winners don't whisper comforts, they roar realities, pushing you to extract every lesson from the burn. Picture the lion pride. Solitary cubs get devoured, but in the pack they hunt empires. Your pain from a recent failure, that sting of rejection or relentless grind, it alchemizes faster when echoed by allies who've walked the wire. I surrounded myself with iron-sharp minds during my darkest days, post-cancellation, when the world wanted me silenced, and their fire turned my fury into frameworks that generated millions. Professionals orchestrate this. Curate your counsel with intention, prioritizing those who demand growth over gossip. Cut the ties that tether you to mediocrity, the friends who celebrate smallness, the influences peddling passivity. Replace them with fire, podcasts of predators, networks of networkers, accountability groups that grill your gains. Feel the hook searing in? This surround sound of strength accelerates the transmutation. Pain's raw ore refined in the roar of collective conquest. The matrix isolates to weaken. Your fire circle unites to unleash. Ignite it now. Reach out to one winner today. Share your scar and let their spark supercharge your shift. Crank the heat with this volcanic hook. Surrounding yourself with fire is an optional luxury. It's the accelerator that turns suffering's slow simmer into explosive power, leaving solo sufferers in the smoke. Weak links leech your lightning, cut them clean to conserve the charge. Envision the forge master hammering metal amid flames stoked by apprentices. Alone, it cools. Together, it crafts legends. That chronic ache from unhealed wounds or unmet goals, it transmutes into treasure when your circle ignites the drive, brainstorming breakthroughs from your breakdowns. I've cut countless connections that cooled my climb, energy vampires, doubt dealers, and replaced them with flames that fueled my fight game and financial freedoms. Make it elite. Define your fire criteria. Do they dominate their domain, devour discomfort, deliver results? Surround daily, morning calls with challengers, evening reviews with rigor. The alchemy unfolds in the friction, debates that sharpen your edge, encouragements that echo your empire vision. Hook deeper. This circle doesn't just witness your pain, it wields it with you, transforming tears into tactics, setbacks into setups. No more dim surroundings, blaze bright, because isolated pain festers, but fired up fellowship forges fortitude. Strike this ultimate inferno hook into your essence. The instant your circle blazes with winners, pain's alchemy completes, suffering not just survived, but savagely surpassed, powering a legacy that lights the way. I've mentored circles that turn personal pains into public powers, watching ordinary orbits evolve into extraordinary alliances. Your move, that weak link nagging at your network, sever it. That potential firebrand on the horizon, summon them. Train the transformation, weekly huddles where pain is pooled and purified, drives ignited into dynasties. This is professional pyrotechnics, deliberate surrounding, dynamic alchemizing, dominant results. Surround, ignite, alchemize, your gold gleams in the gathering flames. Lock this war cry hook into your soul right now. From this very breath, pain isn't your tormentor. It's your sharpened weapon, ready to shatter every limit that's ever held you hostage if you declare war and charge like the conqueror you were born to be. I'm Andrew Tate, the unbreakable force who turned global persecution into personal power, and I'm telling you straight, weakness is the enemy, not the ache that's testing you. That relentless pressure from failures piling up, dreams deferred, or bodies battered, stop seeing it as defeat. Declare war on it all. Stand tall, shoulders squared, eyes locked on the horizon of dominance. I've done it, faced with cages of every kind. I didn't beg for mercy. I waged war, wielding pain as my blade to carve out freedoms and fortunes that lesser men only fantasize about. You? The world is yours to seize, but only if you stop negotiating with nonsense and start commanding the chaos. Hook this declaration. No more truces with trials. From this moment, pain arms you for the assault on averageness. Rise, roar, and reclaim what's rightfully yours. Now, unleash this battle-ready hook. Declaring war on weakness means transforming pain from passive suffering into active arsenal, charging ahead with the ferocity that topples empires built on excuses. Warriors don't wait for wounds to heal. They weaponize them on the front lines. Picture the ancient conqueror, scarred but surging forward, every gash a grip for his sword. Your current battles, that job loss echoing like artillery, the isolation fortifying your fears, or the grind grinding you down, they're invitations to insurgency. I declared war during my own sieges. Media storms, money grabs, mental minefields, and emerged not just surviving but sovereign, building businesses that bow to no one. Professionals in power know dominance demands declaration. Start your offensive, affirm it aloud each dawn. Pain, you're my weapon now. Then advance, network aggressively when rejection rings. Train viciously when fatigue fights back. Innovate boldly when barriers block. This isn't reckless rage, it's regimented rebellion, a Tate blueprint for breaking barriers. The Matrix cons you into ceasefires, lulling you with comfort's illusion, but you, charge without quarter, hook the momentum. Every step in war mode shatters a shackle, pain evolving from enemy to ally in your arsenal of ascent. Escalate with this thunderclap hook. Wielding pain to shatter limits isn't a phase. It's the perpetual campaign of dominators who stand tall and seize the spoils, turning battlefields into kingdoms. Weakness whispers retreats. You shout advances, owning the offensive. Envision the general who turns troop terrors into tactical triumphs. Doubt dispersed, resolve reinforced. That deep-seated scar from past defeats, the daily drags of doubt or drudgery, declare them drafted into your division, dissect their defenses, deploy countermeasures, dominate the domain. I've waged wars on worldwide watchers, turning their weapons against them to forge alliances and assets that amplify my authority. Make it yours, map your war plan, identify limits like fear's front, pain's perimeter, then breach them with unyielding urgency. Surround your strategy with symbols of supremacy, readied routines, reinforced resolve, relentless pursuit. Feel the hook hammering home? This declaration fuels the charge. Stand tall, not in spite of pain, but powered by it, charging through crowds of complacency. No sidelines for soldiers. Conquer or be conquered. The world bends to those who bellow their battle cry and back it with blades of bold action. Hammer this final fortress-shaking hook into your foundation. The breath you take declaring war catapults you from contender to conqueror. Pain as weapon-shattering skies and seizing stars in a spectacle of supremacy. I've rallied regiments of the resolute, watching them weaponize woes into wins that redefine realities. Your conquest commences. That lurking limit today, declare it doomed. That pain pulsing, arm it for the advance. Train the triumph, hourly oaths to own the offensive, daily drills to dominate doubts, eternal ethos of elevation. This is professional warfare, strategic, savage, supreme. Declare, wield, dominate. The dominion dawns for the daring. Your unbreakable vow from this second forward. Pain isn't your prison. It's your passport to the top. Stand up, square your shoulders, and declare war on weakness. Turn every tear into triumph, every setback into a setup for your comeback. You're not a victim, you're a victor in the making. Go out there and dominate. The world's waiting for your power. Don't keep it waiting.